All right, y'all. This Community Coalition Show. What's going on, community? Welcome back again. It's your host, Kay Wilson. 1/3 of the Community Coalition Show, because apparently my co-hosts don't like me tonight. I suppose there's normally three of us, but that's fine, whatever. I got friends tonight. All right. So, and one friend of the show, my good friend, my brother, Chip Baker, is back. And I think we got something excited because I didn't tell everybody we were coming, right? So, what's going on, Chip? What's up?
My man. Well, first, I just want to say thanks so much for the opportunity to be on your platform. Anything that I have had going on, you're always a huge supporter. The impact of influence you were in. Yep. You were one of the co-authors in the book. And so we're dropping volume 3 with ladies. And so just want to come on and highlight them, some amazing ladies. And they're going to blow you away with their stories and all the great things they do. But man, just so good to see you, and thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, man, it's good to see you too. Welcome back. And
yes, sir.
And you, ladies, what's going on? So I'll say I was a part of volume 2. It was so much fun bringing the men together, and I know what that journey has done for me. So and us really. So I'm just excited when Chip first told me that this volume was coming. And he said, I wanted to get the women's perspective. And I said, okay, I like this. As a man, it's something that we think we understand. We don't. I'm still trying to figure that out, And so I'm excited to hear from you all. I'm excited to share. And so my platform is your platform, And so really to kick things going, Chip, thank you for that. Thank you for bringing everyone on. But I want us to learn who you are. So I guess we can take some time, do some intros, tell everybody who you are. We can go. I don't know who wants to go first. I don't want to pick names. It feels like school. I'm an old teacher. I don't want to do school. Whatever wants to get us started is let us know who you are, where you're from, what do you do. And I'll get to. I'm just curious about how you all came together too.
Awesome.
I'll start it. Heck yeah.
All right.
So I'm Jessie Strawham. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. And I actually met Chip through Instagram. I had saw his podcast, reached out, and I was like, would love to be on the pod, man. And he put me in, and then I had the opportunity to meet him during the first book tour for the first time when he came to Charlotte. And so it was a really cool experience. Personally, I was in a motorcycle accident in 2015. And a woman made a U-turn in front of us. The driver of the bike didn't stop in time, and he went through her back window. I went over the SUV. Chest collapsed, ribs punctured my lungs, nicked my spinal cord. I have a traumatic brain injury, coded twice, and had to be resuscitated. So to say that I'm blessed to still be here and have the opportunity to live each day, God continues to provide, gives me purpose, gives me a mission. I'm very grateful for my injury. It gave me perspective of what's important. It taught me how to live life to the fullest, and it gave me purpose. So what we're working on now is I have a business called Wheel With Me Fitness, and we serve fitness for wheelchair users. We're in the process of building an app and really pushing that. We have a private Facebook group. We track our nutrition. And it's just really cool to be able to serve a community that I am a part of.
Wow. You are a blessing, and thank you for being here. Wow. That's an incredible story. Okay, Chip, I see.
Yeah. Hey,
see where we going here, okay?
Hey, I was thinking, man, like we should have gave the audience the warning that it's about to get hot. We should have
we go right in. You know how we do. We jumping on in.
Okay.
They got to figure it out.
Let Jesse kick it off and just hit him in the face with it. Let's go.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you for being here. Now I'm excited for everyone else. Who else? Let the world know.
Tammy, you want to go?
I feel like we got to do rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah. It's hard to follow up, Jesse. I mean, I've had the pleasure of meeting her in person, and her story was just an inspiration and motivation to me as well. I'm Tammy Matheny. I live in Spartanburg, so near Charlotte, and was able to meet up with Chip and her during that book tour. I'm a mental game coach and author. Mental game coach, I deal largely with athletes and coaches, athletic teams, parents of athletes, and just trying to help them overcome adversity. usually it's not the adversity that Jessie has shown us she's had the strength to overcome, but we all have our own adversity. And I like to help create a different mindset that this is good, and helping people see that adversity can be your best friend when you let it. And that has become my mission in life. Chip's heard me say it plenty of times, but this is good. And that's my favorite saying and my motto. I've written a book on it. But I really feel like everything in life is good if we'll allow our brain to see it that way, or give a moment or maybe 100 moments for something good or better to come in.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. I get to use athletics as the vehicle, but it's life lessons. And I tell everybody that I honestly think I have the best job in America, and I'm just very blessed to be with these ladies. There's a handful, that have written the book that I've already met, and just excited to get to meet and connect with other like-minded individuals.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Tammy. I have a similar mindset. I try to stay as positive as I can, and like through adversity, so I understand sometimes we take those experiences, those negative experiences, we can turn them and transform, we can learn from them, turn them into positive. So I appreciate that way of thinking, so I get it. Thank you so much. See, I'm ready to dance. All right. So let's keep it going. Who wants to go next? I know, like, rock, paper, scissors. We about to.
Yes, that's my game. So I guess I'll hop in.
Okay.
I'll hop in. My name is Jessica. So Jessie, hoorah to the Jessies, right?
All right.
I love that. It's interesting that all three of us have sports in common. And the theme for me has been supersizing. I'm 4'11", so I've had to supersize a lot of my life from start to finish. I just was in front of a bunch of athletes today, and it made me think about what Tammy was saying, right? The adversity piece, the setback piece. I had two athletes in the room who were dealing with injuries, a flag football team here locally in Tampa. So when you talked about weather, it's 82 degrees. Sorry, folks, but I got sunshine, which is maybe why I have a little bit more energy at this time of night. But when I think about that, being in front of those young athletes and being able to impart the idea that the life lessons that Tammy talked about are what's most important, right? What Jessie's living, a life lesson through adversity, right? And so for me, that is one of my platforms as well. But looking at it from a perspective of no matter what the cards are dealt, no matter what we have, is how do we apply that, right? And take ourselves to the next level of whatever that looks like, whether it's in business, life, sports. They're all a microcosm of each other. And so, like Jessie, I met this fun gentleman called Chip via Instagram. And, social media is a platform that we can really connect on so many different levels. And he is a brother. I mean, he is a brother for life. I think all of us probably feel that way once you meet Chip, and you guys can be my sisters. So, that's really how I embrace it. And when we get more in depth into what the book is, it's why this book is so powerful for each one of us, I believe, because it's been our life mission to be able to just share a piece. It doesn't have to be the whole thing, but to share that with each other, to me, is what's really impactful. So I came from sports, education, Parks and Rec professional. I mean, I have a lot of different experiences, but what it comes with is now I'm in the space that you all are in. I'm a positive influencer. I'm a speaker. You name it. I love health and wellness. So I kind of sit in lots of different pockets and find the catalyst space for me to be able to elevate others and whatever that looks like for them. So I'm excited to be here, and I'll rock, paper, scissors it over to whoever's next. I'm not sure, but I really want to play with you guys because it's fun to do it.
Before we go, we're going to have to figure it out. Yeah. All right.
Well, I'll hop in. My name is Tamisha Allen. I am the owner and operator of Tamisha Speaks, and I'm an author, a speaker. I am also a scholarship strategist and an educator. I've been in the room of education for 20 years, and I work simultaneously during, parts of my career in higher ed and also in K-12. So I know all about it. And I met Chip through a mutual friend on LinkedIn, and I met him in person when he came here last year for volume 2. But prior to that, he and I was invited to speak on be a featured guest on his podcast. So, I fell in love with his spirit, who he is as a person, his humility, leadership, just all around, just a down-to-earth cat. So, blessings to him and his family, and providing us this opportunity to be able to not only just share our stories, but also be a source of inspiration, to someone else. And I shared this last night with some of the ladies that is on here. We were talking about our journeys, and I was saying, positive people equals positive results. And I'm always wanting to embrace a positive environment, because we all go through challenges and adversity. And sometimes when you're in the darkest place, you really need that extra push from somebody else who may, be impactful in your life or inspired in your life, and being able to uplift you, even when you can't uplift yourself.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. All right. So then we got a couple more. I know, is it Jenny just joined us? So thank you for coming on. We're jumping in. We're just getting going. We're having fun. It's family right now,
Hey.
so this all, we're all having a good time. So, whoever wanted to go next, we're just going to keep it going.
Yeah. Who's going?
Mel, you want to go?
Oh, sure. I went first last night, so I'm just like, being
hanging,
gracious
huh?
here. Gosh, this is awesome. Thanks, Chip, again, for just thinking of us and getting us involved with each other. This is wonderful.
Yes.
I've never been involved in a book launch like this. I love you, Chip. And Ken, thank you. It's great to see you again. I just love you, and I love your story in volume 2. So I am the founder of Everyday Leaders. And this vision came to me because it was inspired by my heart, by things that I was challenged with in my life, living in the corporate world, just feeling suffocated, like my thoughts didn't matter, what I did didn't matter. And I knew I had more value than that because I was raised the right way. And so part of this journey is when I met Chip. I met Chip and I came on his podcast, and he said, I love what you're doing. Let's share it. And the last question that he asked me was, what's on your heart? And it really made me start to focus on the things that were changing inside of me, was because it was from my heart. Everything, the vision that I had, was my heart was changing. And so my part in this book is really talking about the things in my life that I really identified as instances, situations that really made me stop and think, where was the courage coming from? And it was really, God was giving me this vision to do something bigger. And so that's where Everyday Leaders came from. That's where my podcast came from. That's where everything that I have tried to do today has really been filled up from the vision of where God has led me. So it's just amazing. You ladies are amazing. This is an incredible journey just to be involved in, and see when I look back at the chapter and go, there's so much that's changed even since I've written it, And it's because that momentum, the momentum is so crazy, you guys. So I love it. I'm so proud and honored to be in here, and just thank you. And that's what I want to add tonight.
Yeah. All right. And I think Jenny, we're gonna
Hey. Well, first up, I met Chip doing his podcast, essentially, when he was interviewing, asking when I was a high school principal, and we did a great little conversation about how kids how we meet the needs of kids. And so I really enjoyed that. And that's part of my chapter actually in this book, is just talking about how we address the needs of kids. I'm in the world of education. I'm a school superintendent, and I also run a business to help called Solid Oak Leadership. And we help school districts find their athletic directors and head football coaches. And so I'm all about connecting good people, and just like Chip does, and all of you, that's kind of what we're all here to do, is try to help the world find the good people, right? So really at the end of the day, my chapter is just talks about the faith and family and the failures that I have had to go through in life, and to make sure that we are resilient, and that just to kind of say, hey, you can learn from my failures.
Yeah.
And hopefully those things, when people get the opportunity to read the book, which is going to be fabulous, when they get the opportunity to read the book, that they will see how you can accomplish a lot of things while making a lot of mistakes along the way. And that's part of the process. And so that's the goal for us, is that, we're good and godly people. But we didn't have everything easy from the get-go, and nothing is easy even now. So we're just kind of, it's a roadmap, I would say, for how we can get to that next level. And thank you for having us on.
No, thank you all. All right. So Chip, you're a very smart man. Thought I was okay too, but I see what you did here, bro. I see what you did. We ain't got the best.
Man,
see, like I said, I was part of volume 2. And I'll be honest, and I think the other brothers will say this too. We thought we were okay. We thought we were good. We thought we had a good product. I think y'all got something good. Oh no, I'm about to go back and text my brothers like, hey, volume 2 might have been okay, but I think volume 3 is gonna blow us out the water. I get it. So just hearing your stories already, I'm excited. I share similar backgrounds in business and athletics and even education. I spent time there as well too, entrepreneurship. So, hearing your stories, I do feel connected already. Going back to Chip, so when we did this, I'll give us credit. I don't know who said it. One of us said it, but we coined this whole phrase. We said, LinkedIn is cool, but that's chipped in, and we coined chipped in.
Oh,
and we said chipped in was way better than LinkedIn. Because not only do you get connected, but it's like, look at this. It was, yeah. So it's like, how I can tell already, and I know you all are probably just starting in your journey together, but the connections that are already forming. Chip has a coaching tree. Now he has the author tree. But this is special. I remember what it felt like for me. So I'm honored to be amongst you all. I do feel like I understand and part of this journey too, even though I think y'all is going to be better than us. I really do. But so I just wanted to say that first. So again, thank you all. I know putting your thoughts and your experiences in your life on paper, so to say, I know that can be a challenge too. That was the one thing, even when I first started writing the first time, and I was like, we have this wealth of knowledge. We have this wealth of experience. Was it challenging for you all to actually start to put all that together and try to put it down into one section and book and how was that for you all? I just wanted to ask.
For me, I'm constantly talking about my accident, what happened to me. And when I think of the impact of influence, right? It's who influenced me and who made me change. And so my story is actually not about my injury, about my spinal cord injury. It's about my best friend, Jamie, and the impact that she had on my life and the power of who you surround yourself by. And she taught me some lessons. And so I go through the lessons in there, and I finish with a question, and it's, who is your Jamie? And it's like, who is that person in your life that has that positive impact? We all have that person. I know in this group, we all have one person that's like, this is who influences me the most. And so it's like trying to make you think again on that.
I just got chills. I mean, just like, that's awesome.
Oh. That's good stuff. So I love Jesse, if you don't mind, I love playing off of that, because when you ask that question about, I haven't been a writer. I mean, I do write. I went to school and know how to, right? Yeah. But to sit down and just write had not been something I had dreamt about, thought about, or wanted to do, honestly. And when Chip reached out, he's like, hey, Jess. I'm sorry. Hey, Jess, whatever. I think it's time. He actually calls me J-Lo, by the way. It's Jessica Lowe. Might do that because of the shortness, but whatever. So he's like, J-Lo, let's talk through this. I think you need to be in this book. And I said, dude, I'm not a writer. I mean, I did ask him when he was going to write one with women. So just maybe that's why I put him on. I was like, I don't understand.
Call him out.
Yeah. I brought him to my city. I wasn't in the book, but I let him have a book tour here. And I said, where's all the women? I don't get it. And he's like, just take your time. So I don't know if that was part of the catalyst. He left because I said this last night too. But so when I hear Jesse say that, for me, I'm a little older than you, Jesse, not much, just a little bit. And it wasn't about one influence. I was like, holy, I can't think of one thing or one person. I was like, that was a block for me. And so for me, what I said, just, okay, write about your village, because I've always said that. I come from education where the village raises the child.
Yeah.
I came from a family where the village, everybody was in our house, the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles, Spanish and Cuban. So it's like, they're all in your village, right? And they, whew. So for me, it was like those impacts. And then I was like, oh man, this is an awesome opportunity for me to thank some people and show the gratitude space that I don't think we're in enough. Like Jesse, I feel like you're so grateful for the space you're in regardless. I have a cousin who's a paraplegic and has lived 50 years that way. She was just in my house, she's 75, and she's so grateful for what that accident did for her and changed her life in a different way. And so when I hear you speak, I'm like, I could see you at 75. Hopefully I'm still here. But you know what I mean? Because it has enriched her life in a different way. And so that's why I was like, that's what my chapter is going to be about. And so it became easier once I kind of pulled the layers back and didn't think so much, on the piece of paper, right? And I thought more about what the impact could be of the influences that I want to portray to other people. So I feel real compelled to share that. And it was a labor of love. And I'm excited for folks to I'm excited to read your chapter. I'm like, could you hurry up? Why did you send me mine? I'm just sending yours. So yeah, that's me. That's it. I got no more. Pass the torch.
Anyone else, was that the challenge,
I have written 4 books on my own. The first one was a big struggle because I always did well in school except for writing. Actually got an F on a book report because they told me it was too good to be mine. And so I kind of believed that and let that circumstance derail me until I started creating the This Is Good mindset in my own mind. And so the first book was to show myself I could write. I didn't care if it sold a copy or not, but just to show myself that I could. And then it became contagious. But so Chip had said, hey, I want you to be a part of this. And I guess my struggle was to condense it and not have the entire book. Not that I'm selfish by any means, but how do I get what I want in one chapter? And peeling back, like Jessica said, peeling back those layers. And I think I had 10 different ideas till I settled on the one that I went with. I don't know if you guys had that experience. Well, I'm going to write about this. No. And I just started digging back and it really went back to my birth. And that's kind of the impact I write about. Technically, my mom has always said I was a miracle baby, was not expected to be born. She had gone in for surgery and had been told it was hysterectomy and been told she wouldn't have kids, woke up and she was told she was going to have twins. So it's my journey as a twin who, he's my guy. And he's been with me every step of the way. He's here with me right now, even though he's not physically, and just the impact that has had. And looking back, that was my first This Is Good moment, and haven't realized how it's always been there. It just took me adulthood to kind of connect all the dots, I guess you could say.
Wow. I'm a twin dad myself. So yeah. Wow. Wow. I mean,
it's a unique experience. People ask me about it and you just, I don't really know how to describe it, but I tried to in the chapter.
Yeah, I understand. I'm just trying to hold on. I got twin daughters and I'm just trying here. Yeah. I don't know. What age are they? So they're 7 and then my oldest daughter's 9. So they're at that age now where they're starting to figure out that they really win. I can't say that too loud, but
always.
Yeah, I can't admit it, but So yeah, I get it. So yeah, so I see where this is going. I just wanted to say that because I know, being a fellow author, there's so much experience. I can see the experience of life and so much knowledge that you all are possessing, and I know doing it in different things is sometimes trying to focus it sometimes to put it down and then you start to pull from everything, you know? So just hearing some of that. So it's kind of comforting for me to even hear, okay, that's a similar process that a lot of us went through as well too. Because I struggled. I did. You know, I think Tammy, I kind of had a similar process. The first time I wrote, I was like, yeah, okay, and let's just see how it goes, you know. I didn't think anybody was real. Like, if it sucks, I try, you know. But it was just like, get it down. So I get that point too. So, you know, I just also part of this journey, I know, just like I said, for us, and I know I'm drawing back to our experience a lot too, but the bond that we formed, you know, doing this. So for me, it was really twofold, this journey. It was the actual process of writing the book, doing that, going out, promoting, doing all the things you're doing now. But then also the bonds I made with everyone, you know, how much time, I mean, I'm pretty sure, I think this is the first time you're all meeting doing this project, right? But I mean, are y'all starting to feel that right now? I hear you all, you know, like, how does that feel?
Well, I'll say this, when we first met, which I believe was last year, ladies, wasn't it last year when we very first met, and we were walking through the process and he was telling us what is to be expected. I was excited and shocked at the same time, because I was like, wow, this is a lot of ladies that's going to be a part of this project. We have a lot of inspiration on this call. But then, you know, the excitement kind of took over, like, yeah, you know, who run the world, girl? You know what like. So then, you know, all of the bond, as you were saying, like us getting to know one another, sharing a little bit about at that time what our why was, what our purposes were. He even, you know, brought in an expert on just kind of how to build our momentum as we're selling the book.
Yeah.
And it was a pleasurable experience. I said, wow, we are from all over the country.
Yeah.
Literally all over the country. So to be selected as a part of this project was not only meaningful for me, but it was a true blessing, because, you know, you get to not only read your own story, but then you want to read other stories as well, to see how God has brought them thus far. So yeah.
I can feel it. Even on a Zoom call, even having this conversation, I can really feel it. You know, I can feel that you all are starting. And you know, like I said, I don't know how far you are in this process, but you know, it's probably just getting started.
Yeah.
You know, this is going to get stronger. You know, I thought for the guys, I thought it was just a bro thing. Like, always some bros, we come together, you know, it'd be cool. But I really feel a bond with you all so far. You know, I hope that grows. I really do. You know, I would love to continue these conversations. I can't wait to read the book. I just want to see, you know, I just would like to see where this is going. I'm a journey guy. I love the journey. That's why I keep saying that, you know, the process. So, you know, to me, I had to ask, because I'm like, this is like sisterhood right here. I feel like a privileged man we don't get to get in and, you know, infiltrate these circles too often. So I got to get some information to take back to the guys, you know, but really though. So I just, you know, thank you all again. I can't say that enough, but I also wanted to get into, you know, not without giving too much of your chapters away in the content, because I want people to read it, but, you know, really kind of, if you could kind of give a little snippet of what we can expect from you all when the book comes out and everyone gets a chance to read it. I know.
Yeah.
Come on. Who's playing with me?
So that was the thing was, Kenneth, with the hardest part really was like doing the condensing, right? So like, that's the coolest part about, like, here's what I know with all of these women, it takes a lot. Like, women are, you know, obviously we've had to overcome a lot of things, especially if we're in the professional world, right? And so that's the one thing that each one of us on here, we understand that, and there's an innate knowledge that we have to work to get to where we are. And so that is something that we understand. And so that's where there's always going to be a connection with strong working women, is that they're going to understand the struggle. And so I think part of that talks about, I don't know, their chapters, and I'm super excited to read their chapters, because now like you're learning their personalities and you'll be like, oh yeah, I saw that. I saw that in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the biggest thing with us is that my chapter is just going to kind of talk about how I came to be, and literally drop in some like bombs of like how mistakes that I have made and how those had to be changed. Like those are things that I had to fix, or I was failing for life. And so those are the kind of things that, and you don't get anywhere without getting God in your life to fix those kind of things. And so with my chapter, that's what I kind of talk about, is that I kind of came from a place of chaos in life, and had a really rough upbringing in that regards. But you battle through, you make mistakes, and you move forward, and then you lead people. And we have all that have the opportunity to lead people. And so the biggest blessing for that is that you can come from this background A, and get to the point of where we are. And it's an exciting process.
Yeah.
It's a good journey.
Yeah. And you said something too. I know I'm all about having difficult conversations too. And I would love to hear more about, maybe, I want to get through this, but as a man, I'll be honest, we don't hear those journeys enough from women. I'm just gonna keep it real, And so I think it is a real conversation. I think it's a real testimony to have women come together and be able to share this, and be able to have a platform and be empowered to do it. So for me, I am excited for that, because we probably don't say it enough. We probably don't give the platforms enough, and this is a man saying that, and I try to do the best I can, but some of that, it's the horrible realities, so I appreciate that. And I'm glad you said that, Jenny, too, because it needs to be said. It does.
I think my favorite thing about the books, I'm sorry, did I interrupt somebody?
No.
I think that my favorite thing about all of them, right, is that there's so many individual stories that we can take lessons from. And, we think that we know until we know. And then you're like, oh, wait a minute. You can always take something from someone else's experience. And that's what's most powerful about having this opportunity. Like, we're surrounded by some powerhouse women, and they all have individual experiences that we can pull from and learn from.
Yeah.
Adding to that, you're a girl dad. Like, how cool is that? So I think about that as a platform, like for long term, right? Because there is, I'm old. When I went to sports administration and I was in that arena, right? That was my degree. I was one out of 500 students at St. Thomas University. I was one of 5 females in the entire program.
Wow.
My dad's like, now I know why you're here. Like, whoa. No, I love what I'm doing, but he went there as my dad. Dad, leave me alone. But seriously, so when you think about that, first female athletic director doing something, first female this, but why? Just, I was good at what I did. Who cares if I was female or not? I just was doing my job.
Yeah.
And so I think that's something that hopefully can permeate. It doesn't really matter about the female piece as much as it is about, we're just an empowered person in front of you doing good work.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's what I hear. That's what I hear from each of these ladies. Yes, we're ladies. I got no problem. We got a pink book cover. Awesome. Right. We're ladies. Okay. Well, we bring some power, so watch out. So I appreciate you sharing that. Both everyone on here kind of sharing that passion, and knowing that you're a girl dad. Holy cow. We need more of us, out there for them to be those role models, to say they can do whatever the do is for them.
Yes. Yes. And that's why, I can't wait till they get of age where they can start to take some of this in. For me, even seeing this in culture, and then we start to see this for them at a young age, that separation that happens, where it's like girls do this, boys do this. And I see it already, and so they need, and I know they need to see strong women. They need to see women in leadership. They need to see women just doing their thing, just being women, out there. They need the role models. It is important. So even for me, that's why having these conversations, doing these showcases, we need this. We all need this. I learned from y'all too. Y'all have, I can already tell Wealth and I'm picking brains already, because that's what this is supposed to be. That's why I try not to, I try to do my hardest not to like put the men and women thing in it too. I'm a Black man. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. It's a different form, but I get it. You know what I'm saying? So I hate when people say like, first Black man to do this. Like, no, man, human, just me.
So I have a funny story that like when I was a principal and I was the first female principal at the school and that they thought that it was the craziest thing that they had hired a woman, right? So this parent comes up and this dad, he comes up to the school and he goes straight to my assistant principal, who's a male, and he says, "I'm here to talk to that principal." And and he's they're kind of up in each other's face, kind of talking and about a situation. And I go walk over to him. I'm like, "Well, hi, I'm Jenny Netherland. Nice to meet you." He's like, "I ain't here to talk to no woman. I'm here to talk to the principal." And I said, "Well, hi, I'm Jenny Netherland. Nice to meet you." And he's like, "Listen, lady, I ain't here to talk to you." And I just said, "You know what? It's the craziest thing. They went and hired a woman. I don't even know what they were thinking, but they did. So by God, my name is Jenny Netherland. And if you want to come to my office, let's go." And so we had to have a sit down and conversation. And it was fantastic. And it was just like, what on earth are we doing here? So it took a bit, right? But also we had to have the mindset of that we understand that it takes a bit and we're here. And so when every woman succeeds, when every person succeeds, we have done our job as women and leaders and nurturing people. And so it's like, it's all love. Like, I think that that's a great thing because with every little conversation that we can have like that, that's a boundary broken.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, that is true.
Sydney, that's a great story. I was one of the first female coaches of a male sport that won Coach of the Year. And the disrespect I got from the men's coaches, like, let me speak to your head coach. Well, I am the head coach. And I had that conversation so many times. So I appreciate that. But, I recently had this conversation with a friend not too long ago. And yes, we did that because of who we are, not because we were the first Black man or the first female.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I wonder how much that has fueled us and driven us as well. So it's kind of like, Jesse's situation, like for some people it's a curse, but for many others it's a blessing, and we have used it to build our platform, or it's kind of the fuel at the end of the day, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't even talk about this in the book, but okay, here's the secret.
Bring it.
When I was 7, my mother.
Melanie, you're talking. I'm getting my notes out.
See?
I'm ready.
When I was 7, they used to have these little papers that they would send home on Fridays, and it would say, you can sign up for this, or you can play this game, or you can go register for this. Well, my mother saw this thing and it said, you can register for ice hockey, or actually said hockey. And she said, oh, we should go do that. Well, I'm an only child, right? And my father passed away when I was 5. So she wanted to keep me focused, my energy focused. We go over to the rink and it is ice hockey. And I signed up. Here's the thing. There were no other girls. For 12 years, there were no other girls.
Wow.
So I grew up with all these brothers. And that's why I think I love Chip, because, if you just get accepted, you're just like, I'm not going to have to try that hard to be accepted by you. But here's the thing. When you show up as you are in your own mindset, in your own state, you don't have to pivot as hard as if you're trying to be someone for someone else. And that's what I hear from all these stories. It's like, we're just showing up, we're just showing up to serve. We're just showing up because we know who we are. And we want other people to say, it's okay. Whatever you are, be who you are, right? Be who you are and just give it your all. So anyway, I had to share that.
I love that, being a wheelchair user in the fitness space, it's dominated by men, but it's really cool because I coach. And so a lot of my clients are actually male wheelchair users. And what I think it is, they're like, well, if this female can lift like this, then I should be able to lift like this. And I love it because I get to use it to my advantage in my space, which is really, it's a cool experience. It makes you like, we don't play the identity politics in our space. It's like, look, we are human beings, and it's our job to make society see us as human beings. Like, we use a wheelchair to get from point A to point B, but that doesn't take away from our capabilities, our education, because for so long, early in my injury, I valued myself based on my mobility. And it's because of that stigma in society. And so it goes back to that being a powerhouse of just women. You know, there's so much stigma in society that we're incapable and we're weaker. And when in reality, men may be physically stronger, but I may be biased, but I think that we're mentally stronger. You know, we're able to adapt, to pivot, and to carry that strength of our families and our friends and be that person for them. And so I'm so excited to read this whole book because I just know we're going to take so much from it.
Yeah. And I think everyone is, you know, I'm excited to read it as well. I am. And I don't know who said about the cover. I do like your cover. I'm not going to lie. I'm not afraid of pink. I'm not. And I first saw it, I was like, all right, Chip, let's see where you're going. Yeah. So everything about this process, I've been seeing it from afar. So now getting able to talk to you all, like, I'm really excited for you all, you know. Hopefully, I know I get to hopefully see some of you all soon. I know when you guys are going to start probably touring and all that stuff. And, you know, hopefully I'll bounce around too, you know. So I just want to thank you all. Thank you so much. You're family now, you know. That's what I always say. If we come in contact with each other, we family, you know. And hopefully we'll all get back together. We'll do this soon. But before I go, I just want to share this, and this for the audience too. You know, Community Coalition Show was really founded. I founded this show in the name of a man named Tyrone Coles. So it was first called the Tyrone Coles Community Coalition Show. Tyrone Coles was an unsung community guy. You know, when you saw him on surface, he didn't look like, you probably would have thought him like a vagabond or something like that. You know, and when he died a couple years ago, thousands of people came to his funeral. And what happened when they started sharing at his funeral, they didn't realize all the stuff he did in the community. He would help the kids, he would help the police, he would help the store owners, and they shared all these stories. He didn't tell anybody he was doing this stuff, you know, and it inspired an entire community of people. So I started this podcast to have the hard conversations, but also find the other Tyrone Coleses out there, you know, find the people who are really doing it, who aren't bragging about it, who aren't boasting about it, just out there doing it, making it happen, you know. So when I have conversations like this, it brings me back to that man, you know. You all are the people out there doing it, making it happen, you know, and to be able to now tell your stories and tell your experiences, to me, is priceless. It's priceless. So again, thank you. I can't say that enough. I just want to encourage you, even if it just comes from little old me, may not mean much, you know, but keep going, please. Please keep going. I think about my daughters. I think about us. We need you all, you know, you know, let's go change the world, you know. So before we go, I just had to say that first. I also want to give
Chip's not here, but I got to say boom to that.
Boom, you know, boom.
Go get it.
Go get it.
Go get it.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that was coming. So.
No. And I mean, how can you not love that man? I love Chip, and I have no problem saying it. You know, I know we all do. But to me, that's part of this too, is bringing each other together. You know, like certain situations bring us together. We may have ever crossed paths in our lives, but we need people like Chip. We need people like you all, because this is what it is, you know. So he's one of those guys, when he calls me or he texts me, I can't say no. There's no no in that, you know. So I can't, you know, like, but I don't want to, because I know it's good stuff too, you know. So yeah, so I know for the sake of time, we'll do this again. I'm going to say that. Let's do this again. It doesn't have to be for a book release. It doesn't have to be for anything. I would just love to keep in touch. Just keep it going. You know, I know my show, and I'll be honest, I know my show, my audience is predominantly Black. We talk about Black issues, but there is power for us to come together and have all these issues, have the conversations and learn from each other. I'm a firm believer in that too. and I don't ever want to limit the platform. So be family, please, And also before we go to, I just want to give you all just quick tidbits. How can we find you? How can we get in contact? If somebody wants to, figure out more what you're doing, get in contact. I just want to give you that opportunity as well.
Yeah, so I'll hop in. You can find me on my website, TamishaSpeaks.com. I'm on all the social media platforms under Tamisha Speaks. I recently joined Clubhouse. Still trying to navigate that platform because I'm like, okay. And I also recently joined TikTok just as a source of inspiration, just using that to strengthen others who may be going through various challenges and trying to find their way and navigate life. And Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Tamisha Speaks, and then Tamisha Allen for LinkedIn.
Okay. Yeah, I'm navigating some of those too. TikTok, yeah. I tried to put a couple of inspirational videos on there. I tried. You just get sucked in with everything else too. You start watching crazy videos.
You gotta stick with it. You gotta stick with it.
I know it's interesting. So thank you. I just want to keep it going.
Well, I'm not quite as advanced as that. My athletes tell me I got to get with the times, but mainly on Twitter, at Tammy Matheny. Have a Facebook group, well, Facebook as well, but a Facebook group called This Is Good, just to try to continue creating that mindset. And then on Instagram, refuse the number 2 lose coaching. I don't think I said that before, but that's my business.
Okay.
So you can find me on those social media, but haven't made it to TikTok or Clubhouse or Snapchat or any of that yet.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Even like Clubhouse, like I tried it for a little bit. Like, yeah, I didn't. I don't know. It makes me. I didn't think I was old, but it just starts to like.
I'm old. Okay.
I thought I was good. I thought I knew this stuff, and then like they hit me with that, and I'm like, all right, I don't know. So
at least create a profile. At least create a profile. I'm telling you, I've been doing a Bible study for 874 days today, consistently. And somebody jumped on this morning as we were jumping off, and she said, and I didn't know her, and so I was messaging her, and I was like, oh, is this a spammer? So she comes on, and they were like, how did you find us? You just clicked on Zoom. Clubhouse. I'm like, I've been on Clubhouse twice.
Yeah.
But you know what? Your profile, people want to read your profile, even if they're doing stuff. And I was like, I have like 3 followers, I'm just like, I'm not on Clubhouse. So for her to say that, I thought, wow. But when you have your heart, when you show up, like I said, you show up authentically and you're just like, I'm not here to do whatever, create celebrity. I just want to be here to find out about it and see if I can add value. And so without that profile, this woman was amazing. And now she's connected to all these other people. And I think because you did that one thing that you were inspired to do, right? That's what I say, the influences. Somebody inspired me to say, just do that. You just never know. And so anyway, it was incredible. Today's been an incredible connection day. I'll just have to say I'm all fired up. So thank you.
We can find you on Clubhouse.
I know. Clubhouse, Melanie Ake, everydayleaders.com. That's my website. That's where you can find all my other connections. Everyday Leaders 50 and 50 is my podcast. You can find it there on Instagram, Melanie Ake Everyday Leaders, on LinkedIn, Twitter, Melanie Ake. I'm everywhere, but find Everyday Leaders and you'll find me.
Okay.
First, I want to say, if you gain value from today's episode as a listener, please share it with a friend, family member, share it directly to somebody. Podcasts grow by word of mouth. And so I know we would all appreciate if you would just take a moment, share it with somebody that could use it. You can find my organization, Wheel With Me Foundation, at Wheel With Me. And then I am Jessie Strawham, looks like Stratcham, on all social platforms. That's YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, all the platforms, and Clubhouse. And I will say that y'all that just got onto Clubhouse, start joining and just like ask to be a speaker, grab the floor and share your perspective on there. I've gained friendships, I've gained clients. You can gain so much from there and also give at the same time. So it's a really good platform to share your mission on.
Y'all are inspiring me. Okay, I'm gonna get on. I'm gonna get back on it. Okay.
Yeah, I'd never even heard of Clubhouse. I'm like, what is that? I'm gonna have to do my research. My name is Jenny Netherland, and I can be found on social media through that avenue, through Twitter, and I don't really do a lot on Instagram, but it's there, and Facebook and all that, and LinkedIn. And so, but I also Solid Oak Leadership off of Twitter, and or solidoakleadership.org is my website and for my business. And that's pretty much, just find me. I'm far more active on Twitter than anything else.
Cool. And I'm Jessica Perez. There's a lot of us out there, so you got to find Jessica Perez, who's actually in Tampa. So when you look for Florida, I'm probably the one that'll pop up. But so that's on my Facebook as well as on my LinkedIn. I am on Instagram, and I had to use the moniker the JLo piece because there are so many Jessica Perez's. It's like taken, right? So I'm Jessica_JLo_Perez, and I love DMs and PMs. I really do. I love to really connect that way. I take it to a kind of a conversation. Same thing in LinkedIn. I love the messaging space. And to me, that's really where magic can happen, whether it's in a voice message or something. So that's really where I love to connect. Clubhouse, I'm working on it. And yes, I have a TikTok, and I do more of the, let's try to figure out what my next thing is going to go, right? Like what reel am I going to do? And I use it for ideas and stuff. But Jesse, we're all going to tap into you because I think you've got the sweet spot when it comes to the social media space. So thank you for sharing that piece. So you'll be getting some private messages from this person right here.
Yeah, that goes for anyone. I have a small social media marketing business. I help small businesses grow their brand.
Why did I think I knew this? I had a feeling it's a gift.
So if anyone has questions, please inbox me. That's what I do.
Looky there. We got a resource.
See, I mean, you all are a wealth of resources, I've learned so much, and actually really was encouraged by that. Sometimes we just need to hear it, from someone who's doing it a little bit like that. It may seem small, but for me, that was kind of big. Like, okay, let me go ahead and get back on Clubhouse. I was going to delete I didn't delete the profile. So, okay, let me get back on that. So something small, you never know. And I know too, I know if you're listening or watching this, I'm definitely going to have everyone's links. I'm going to try to include everyone's information so that it'll be easy for you to access. I know you just heard it, but I'll include everything. So we'll make that happen too. So thank you all. I'm excited. I really am. I'm glad I got a chance to meet you all, and I know other people couldn't be on too. And I know, try to get to them as well too. But this is a group of wonderful women, wonderful people, so thank you all. The Impact and Influence Volume 3 with the best cover of the trilogy. It's probably going to be, I don't care if the guys get upset. It'll probably be the best edition. It's okay.
It's going to be New York's bestseller.
Yeah.
New York's bestseller.
See? And it better be, and that's because we better make that happen. So again, community, let's get on it. When this book comes out, we're on it. Okay. I'm a big believer in supporting and following, and it's the little things like that. It doesn't take much. I always say we spend our money in ridiculous ways. Imagine if we turn some of this stuff to some real resources for people. I'm a big believer in gifting books too. So I know it's probably as part of the show, I'll probably get a couple copies, gift them out, things like that, because some people may not have access to the resources to get it. So we're going to try to help with that too, so get some signed copies, hopefully, personalized copies from everybody. So look forward for that too. But again, thank you all so much. I really want to do this again. And before we wrap up, I just want to say again, thank you all. Again, follow everyone here, support, even if it's not something you typically do, give it a try. Even if it's not something you think you need right now, you never know. Maybe you can connect someone else who may need it, So let's expand ourselves. Let's grow. All right. Don't go anywhere. I'm just going to close it out. Y'all can find us again, communitycoalitionshow.com, all the platforms, YouTube, you can watch us do all that stuff. Brought to you by the Black Squirrel Media Network. So you can check out all the podcasts and shows on the Black Squirrel Media Network. Get at blacksquirrelmedia.com. And so until next week, y'all, be safe out there and peace.